Hi, I'm Oliver from Somerford. I'm joined by Jake, also from Somerford. And today we have for you a demonstration of the dashboards we built within Splunk that are demonstrating Confluent data streaming, which is essentially real-time data streaming feeding into our Splunk platform where we built dashboards all collecting data, simulation data, on water treatment sensors and water treatment centers along the River X. We've got a little bit of a use case which shows certain parts of the river overflowing and how this can then be used within Splunk to show in real time where predicted overflow of different other parts of the river are, so predictive maintenance can then be applied. So yeah, let's jump into the first dashboard, which is the complete overview.
So here we've got our overview dashboard, which is used as a really high-level overview of all the different data that we're bringing in to Splunk from different Confluent streams. And as you can see, we're using this to have an overview of treatment plants, the flow of water at different sensors along the river, and the capacity at different stages in the river. Along with that, we've got a map on the left which shows the sensor locations, along with areas where there has been heavy rainfall, which you can see is just in the southern part of Exmoor, and how that's affecting the different sensors along the river in regards to the rate of water flow and the capacity at each. You can see that each of these panels update in real time. All of this data is, of course, simulated. So here you can see our water treatment overview dashboard, which is highlighting the condition of each of our water treatment plants along the River X, and the likelihood of any spillage and the prediction of water height. As you can see, our rainfall in Exmoor has had a knock-on effect downstream towards the Tiverton and Bickley area, which is showing that over time these increase in water is going to have that knock-on effect, and maybe we can do something to prevent that or mitigate the damage that will be done. So after clicking on a specific treatment sensor, we can go into the water treatment drill down, which shows the specific flow and height at the river and at the treatment center, along with a table showing all of the specific events. In the top left, we can change it to choose a specific treatment center. So if we move to Tiverton, which is where we're slightly worried about a knock-on effect, we can see that the average flow is actually quite high in comparison to a couple other of the centers.
So here on this panel, we have essentially what is a data inventory of all of our inbound data coming from different sources. So here we have got .gov data and also Met Office data. The panel on the left shows the .gov data warning by region. On the right, top right, we have historic data provided by the Met Office of water levels in the past. And in the bottom right, we have rain trends based on the government aid. So the next panel we're going to take a look at is the panel you can see on your screens now, which is the trends and predictions overview. This is taking account of historic data and also current averages, and then trying to predict what the future holds for our sensors. So on the right-hand side of the screen, you can see we've got a load of trellised trends, which all look at the daily change in flow. And the reason they're red right now is because our data's been turned on, but usually there'll be a variety of green, orange, and red. And that indicates that the red indicates the daily change in flow is on the rise compared to a historic average over the last 7 days, with green being not an issue and orange being maybe something you need to look at. When we move over to the left-hand dashboard, we can now see the future prediction for river levels, which again takes into account that historic data. You can key in a number, which will give you that day's prediction. Obviously, the further ahead in the future you look, the less accurate it's going to be. When put into practice, this will also take into account things like rainfall and the weather. So the final main main panel we're going to look at in our dashboards is the sensor overview. This, kind of like the treatment overview, just takes a deep dive into those sensors that we saw on the complete overview screen. The map on the left is actually pretty similar to the complete overview screen, where we take all of our sensors and compare the remaining capacity of them, remaining flow capacity to the current flow capacity, the current flow level, and the current water height. And that's seen in a bit more detail on the right, where the percentages of this are given. And then when you click into one of them, as we'll see in a moment, we can then look at a drill down for that individual sensor.
So finally, we have the water sensor drill down, which, as you can imagine, brings up specific data for a specific sensor. On the left, we've got real-time time charts, which are showing the current flow and the current water height at the sensor. And then on the right, we've got very similar data that is just being displayed in different ways. If you had more different sources of data, you might be showing more on this dashboard. But again, with this simulation, we've kept it very light with the different data that we're bringing in.